Okay, first question, boys.
Hiding the question well, I like it.
I like it.
Good.
Poker skill.
What's the play about?
Big one.
It's about 2 hours. So sorry.
The play is about, I guess, how these men operate, not just within society, but also within this restaurant and in this weird bubble that they exist in, and how they interact with each other, and also how they deal with their own sort of emotions, whilst, you know, connecting through this game of poker. Kind of delves within the spectrum of masculinity, how from, like, I guess, from the most vulnerable to the most toxic.
Their relationships kind of seem to be outside of this poker game, maybe not what they wish for in life, but then inside of this poker game, the relationships are kind of strong.
And it's the thing that binds them together.
Exactly,
These men
yeah.
who probably in the outside world wouldn't have much to do with each other, but they're brought together.
Sure. And they're always jabbing at each other, but it's
Yeah.
really everybody's got each other's backs.
Yeah.
You know, which is kind of.
I feel there's like on one hand, they've got these selfish pipe dreams amongst themselves. You know, they atomize selfish pipe dreams, but really there's another part that wants something else. But there's no belonging for that. So like, they'd like a community, there's a conflict, there seems to be a pull in one direction to like some like parental roles. But on the other hand, there's nothing that allows for that. And there's this compulsion driving them for...
And they need the game to bring out this stuff. If they didn't have the game, there'd be a hole in their lives. Like, this is the thing
Well, there already
allows
is,
them. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, but this is the thing that allows them to sort of express themselves and talk to each other about different things than they would normally, I think.
Yeah, I read there's something interesting in that book, The Big Deal, about that, where a guy went on the radio and was just like, you know, I've always got the poker game, you know, even if I go home, you know, and the home life isn't great, this isn't great, but I've always got the poker game. It was like he
It's
went
my
home
one
and,
constant.
and people weren't happy with him saying what he said.
But the player's also got the sort of excitement of a game as well. The sort of the highs and the lows and the suspense. It's a bit of a thriller as well, I think.
And you don't have to know the rules, do you? I mean, I think for an audience,
no.
the thrill of what's going on is really well told by the writer and the actors.
Yeah, our job is to make it exciting, isn't it?
And funny as well.
Yeah.
Like,
it sounds dark, but it's a romp.
Exactly. It's, I suppose a way of them communicating is through humour. It's kind of that become their, you know, for good or bad, a lot of, whether it be banter, light-hearted or whatever, it's for laughs. They kind of want to connect.
It's all indirect though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Always indirectly communicating with each other. They want to say something else, but
go a different way about it. Yeah. What I also find really interesting is that I've kind of noticed, because we've been playing a bit of poker just casually anyway to practice the game, but I feel like everyone's got this slightly different personality when they get to the poker table. There's like these kind of new characters emerge. You have the characters at the table
Of ourselves.
well, and of the
Yeah,
and in the
yeah,
play
yeah,
itself as
yeah.
well.
It's very revealing as a game. Which is why it's such a good, why it's such a good sort of metaphor to use in a play, because it just immediately exposes people. I think.
Yeah.
And what they're keeping hidden, what they, you know, it's brilliant.
I mean, acting to me is kind of always just figuring out what's at stake, and you know, it's kind of crazy figuring out all these relationships between the characters and what's at stake. I think our relationship is interesting in it because we live together as flatmates in the play.
do we live together in real life as well?
In real life, we might. We're going method, baby.
We're
going method.
committed.
Exactly, we're committed.
What are you looking forward to about acting in the Don Mar space?
Been there twice, darling. It's intimate. It's intimate, and as you said, it's like revealing.
Yeah.
Much like the game.
Yeah.
So you can see the whites of people's eyes. So you have to use nowhere's eyes. So you have to use the audience.
This is the perfect space for this play.
Absolutely.
Because if it was done on a proscenium, you know, with the audience separated from the cast, I think you would miss something. The fact that the audience, especially upstairs, are going to be looking down onto the table. They're going to be seeing the cards that are thrown, the chips, and all the action that's real. It's going to be thrilling if we don't mess it up. Maybe that'll be even more thrilling. But also the shape of it as well. They're going to, hopefully the audience will feel like they're at the table.
But there's something quite special about the Donmar and how it just allows an audience member to be right in the action.
Are any of you already good poker players? And what's it been like learning the game?
And we've got a
I
great.
think we've all played once or twice, but none of us were like pros.
No.
And we had a great pro coming in that we Hugo.
But now, of course, we think we know everything about it.
Oh yeah, we're
Like we're
masters
talking
now.
about, like
We're better.
this base is a bit crinkly.
Yeah,
there's
there's
no
no
filter.
underlay.
The cards are a bit slippery.
We understand what we're doing in the script, which is something.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
when I first read it, I was going, what?
Yeah, the only way to sort of play the reality of it is to understand the game like fully. So yeah, we've had to delve deep into it and play it as much as possible and get to grips with the ins and outs of it all.
And unfortunately, as our teacher said, the only way to really experience it is to play for money.
Yeah.
Like you can learn the rules and play, but once money's introduced, that's when this, like it changes.
Stakes are real.
Yeah, because when we when we were playing like not for real money, there was a lot of crazy betting going on.
Yeah. And then suddenly,
$2,000. I was like, what? Wait, what? And then he's like, oh, just got one pair, got pair three.
Yeah.
$2,000. But yeah, as soon as we started playing for money, I feel like everyone's demeanor just changed.
Yeah,
Everyone was like,
very
I ain't about to lose this money, man. No, but that's been really interesting.
The first week of rehearsals was just poker games, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
The first 3 days.
let's not bait up Matthew. Matthew's a great director, you know.
I think that is great direction.
Matthew's a great director. It was every day just poker. We did do some script work as well. But most of the time it was poker. Let's bait him up for real.
Next question.
Is it me? No, is it you? Oh, did you ask? Oh, it's me. All right, next question. The show is set in 1995. What do you remember about that time, or what's your impression of it?
It was a time of real optimism because it was, Labour government for the first time in 20 odd years. Things can only get better, you know. There was Britpop, Cool Britannia,
Spice Girls.
Spice Girls. It's kind of optimism, I think.
Yeah,
it was
I mean,
kind of
I-
party.
I-
It was a party time.
I was coming from Australia at that time, and it felt like London especially was the centre of the world.
Really?
And it was just felt so exciting. It was like everything was being sucked in. There was art, food, music, films, theatre. Like it was just felt from the outside and coming in like the most creative time.
Yeah,
and I think that's the world.
Like
that
things
Patrick-
can only get better was the kind of anthem. Wasn't
that's
it?
the world that Patrick wrote. I mean, it's got the feeling of like a first album by, the great bands. That's what I always think about this play.
Yeah.
Like it's a young man's sort of voice. But yeah, it felt like the center of the world.
I just remember Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Was that 95? Yeah, that was
Must
90.
have been.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times.
Your deal?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's me now, isn't it? 1995 was the start of the Battle of Britpop. Oasis or Blur?
Power. Steps.
What just happened?
I've got a bone to pick with Oasis. I grew up in central London, so I would hear Wonderwall to no end
From
growing up at like 3 a.m. No, just drunk people. Kept me awake for years. So Blur.
Blur all day.
Wow.
Oasis,
Serious?
man. Loved Oasis. When they
Oasis.
first
I,
came out,
I, when I was young, I
Just
loved
for that
Oasis,
reason.
but now as an older man, Blur is like a fine wine.
Really?
Whereas Oasis is a bit like stale lager.
I'm talking about Oasis when it was first born. It was fizzing.
Yeah, no, it was
alive.
amazing.
Look at
yeah.
the story of two kind of working class kids.
Yeah, yeah,
That's an
amazing.
immigrant family in the state in Manchester.
Yeah.
Becoming the biggest band in the world. I love that story. But they blew up pretty
Yeah.
quickly. You know what I mean?
The play explores masculinity and male relationships. What do you feel that's changed or not in the last 30 years?
See, there's no change. Oh yeah. I don't think there's any change, but I think it suffers for me. The whole thing's about a lack of a rites of initiation. Like what
men?
is? Yeah, they're all kind of boys in some way. You know, like all they've got to. There's no sense of like becoming of man. They're all kind of stuck with just like primal stuff
these
to joke about
characters
these
play.
characters. Yeah, competition, as I said, like, you know, insular, selfish dreams, and, you know, sexual humour. But beyond that, there's no sense of duty, or there is maybe with one of them, a bit of conflict with that. But there doesn't feel like an ideal they can reach towards that's real. And I think there is a cynicism about roles in the West today.
I mean, it's more of a sense of a discussion about being in touch with your feelings and
Yeah. That's
what I
talking
think
about
about
how you
when
feel and
expressing
expressions.
I suppose that is more of a thing, isn't it?
I think
It's more awareness of it, I guess,
Yeah.
whether it's happening in people's lives or not.
Totally. I mean, it kind of, you know, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing sometimes, it's like it just depends on the person, you know? It's just like it can become more performative rather than, I guess, if you were trying to do that in a certain time, maybe back then, it was kind of just more understood, and there was a sincerity to it, and I guess there always is a sincerity to it, and you can go even further with it because you're so much more comfortable talking about it with someone nowadays. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
but then again, it's just everything is just a platform nowadays to kind of go, this is what I think. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it's
I think on a sort of superficial level, it was it was the lad culture was really sort of
In swing, yeah.
yeah, and everyone has sort of aspired to, everyone wanted to walk like Liam, and you know, and it was
Simeon Strong.
yeah, I think I personally think it's changed a lot.
yeah,
since
no,
then.
absolutely,
Yeah.
definitely.
No doubt, yeah.
But I think this play still stands up. You know, this play, you know, is 30 years old, but it doesn't feel dated.
Absolutely
It
not.
still
No,
feels
absolutely not.
like
Yeah.
they're men struggling to define themselves.
What's great, I feel like what's amazing about this play is that these men have no fear in saying what they really feel to each other. I feel like that still stands today.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a very young man back in the 90s, but the idea of speaking about your feelings, I mean, even to today, I mean, I feel like men struggle a little bit. I don't want to talk for all men, but not as much as they probably did back then, where it was like you just got to push through. You got to keep going as much as you can.
Yeah.
Don't stop. Keep pushing.
Yeah.
And I feel like now we are allowed. Men are allowed to breathe a little bit and do talk about like the stuff that's going on within them. And I think what's amazing about this play is that these men do that. They speak about what's going on within them, whether or not the other person agrees or disagree. They still speak about what's going on within them through the realm of poker, and I think that's quite strong even today. That to be able to put this play on today, I think it's telling, because it's like, I guess it's saying, you know, talk about your feelings rather than holding them in. I think this play is just it's an acceptance of like, oh yeah, it's okay to feel vulnerable. It's okay to dream. Whether it's like, you know, I think whether you're a man or a woman or anything, it's like it's okay to have these thoughts. And if you do have certain thoughts, it's okay to speak out about it.
What are you enjoying about the process of rehearsals?
Working with Matthew.
Matthew Dunster, the director.
Yes, Matthew Dunster.
So generous,
Yeah.
and
He's
he's
about
so
his work.
inclusive of everyone, all the, you know, the crew, everyone. We all feel part of a team.
It's a fantastic rehearsal room, like you say. It's a whole team, and
Yeah.
Matthew runs it beautifully. And there's all this parallel stuff going on as well, like learning poker, getting into some kind of shape in the mornings, doing this great warm up together that we do before we get
Warm
on.
up,
And,
workout, full on workout.
It's just coming together beautifully without being forced or without any kind of major anxieties. It's just formulating beautifully.
He's the right director for this play.
Absolutely.
Sorry, that's enough about him. We've taken we've taken his money. We've done our jobs. No, I'm joking. No, but it's rare that you get a director that kind of allows you to work out for yourself. He does this amazing thing when he asks certain questions, and he always asks, I don't know how he does it, but he always asks the right questions, and it just allows you to, you know, kind of
Come to that conclusion
come to that
yourself.
conclusion eventually. To I mean, we're still kind of, you know, deep in rehearsals, but it's kind of nice to keep finding new things, not just about your own character, but about other people's characters, so you can continue to work. He's amazing at that.
But the whole room's, you know,
Yeah,
willing to play, and
100%.
everyone's
Down to the stage
about their
management.
work.
Even down to the stage management, they've been incredible.
Yeah.
It's a really strong. It's been an incredible rehearsal process. I've had such an amazing time working with these lads and the ladies and stage management, and it's just been long may it continue.
Yeah, banging.
So what, are you still in then, Casper?
I'm still in there.
Sorry, mate. I folded on you.
Alright. And you
My
folded.
mental now. Oh, sorry, I've suddenly got a better hand.
We got
Next question.
Another question.
There's my bet.
What do you like about Patrick Marber's writing?
It's direct.
It's tight as a drum.
yeah.
It's low.
Watertight. It's completely
Yeah.
watertight.
What?
Nothing.
Did you see his cards?
Yes, it was cards.
It's funny as well.
It's
Funny as
It's so funny.
knows how to
It's
set up
so
a joke.
funny. Yeah.
So brilliant.
Yeah, just discovering so many different ways to play it as well. It's just the writing
Yeah.
is just so like
Yeah.
wow.
A great
There's so
economy,
much in
isn't
there.
it? So much subtext.
Yeah, every
yeah,
clause is
yeah.
perfectly placed. It feels like it's just so tight
Yeah.
already, and it's
There's a
hilarious.
pace
as
to
well.
it.
It's there's such a pace to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like. There's not really any kind of big monologues in it or anything. It's just like boom,
It just
boom,
goes,
boom, boom.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like it's great.
There's an amazing way in which he kind of captures the way like people speak, and so it's interesting. You know, sometimes you do plays and you find yourself ad-libbing a little bit or doing little things here and there, but with this, I mean, it's all there.
And also, every character's different, has a different voice. So
Yeah,
often in
has a different
plays,
rhythm,
like
yeah.
you know,
Writer's voice.
yeah, it's the writer's voice. But
character.
here, it's each character has their own rhythm and language and way of using words. It's so
The
clever.
ensemble element. Every character's interconnected. Every single,
absolutely,
even the
yeah.
outsider, but every
Yeah, yeah,
role so linked.
yeah.
It's brilliant.
Come on, baby.
Give it a tune.
Cass usually wins, to be fair.
Yeah, I thought I'd give you a chance today.